Hi, my name is Joe Lalore. I have videos on YouTube dealing with new ideas and techniques for composers in all styles and genres of music, with or without formal training. Videos on creating unlimited chord progressions derived from 12-tone rows, aleatoric music, that's music by chance, pandiatonic harmony, and also chord planing, to name just a few. In this video, I would like to illustrate a method to create your own keys, which in turn will lead to chord progressions, backgrounds, melodies, and compositions uniquely yours. We all work with major and minor keys along with the 7 modes: Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. Many will use these modes for improvising solos. These modes also generate keys and modal music. If you are interested in modal music, this subject, please check out my YouTube videos on modal music along with episodes on my podcast, Songwriting for Everyone. Whatever style of music you prefer, songwriting, soloing, background music, we all know most composers start with a chord progression which stimulates and inspires melodies in their mind, or begin with a melody which is then harmonized. Either way, the chords, similar to the background layer in a painting, color all that is layered above, light to dark, and all the shades in between. If one creates these chordal backgrounds, chords and progressions unlike anyone else, the resulting music will be truly your own. A perfect example is the music and teachings of Barry Harris, a great jazz pianist, composer, educator, and theoretician who devised the system using an 8-note scale with an added note between the 5th and 6th degrees. So that would be C, D, E, F, G, A flat A, B, C in the key of C. Upon this scale, he builds chords emphasizing sixth and diminished chords. This is truly an amazing, in-depth course of study in the jazz idiom. What I propose is a method for everyone that will work with every style of music and genre. We will now build chords and progressions on synthetic and exotic scales. These are scales that have been altered or come from different cultures. They are all readily available on the internet. For example, Hungarian major, 8-tone Spanish, symmetrical, Pelog, Neapolitan, major and minor, etc. Also, a great source of material used by many musicians is the book The Thesaurus of Scales and Melodic Patterns by Nicholas Slonimsky. For our example, I will use the Lydian minor scale on C. The notes will be C, D, E, F sharp, G, A flat, B flat, C. Now, if we were to build chords in the traditional manner thirds, we would get chords not practical for our purposes. It would be a lot of augmented and diminished chords. What we will do is we will use the chords that you use. In order to get the sound possibilities, I will play the scale with major chords and then make a progression using major. And then with all minor chords and make a chord progression with minor, 7th, etc. And then I will mix them. So we will use all the different types of chords with this scale as our basis. So with these progressions, you will see the endless possibilities that exist to be truly free. Okay, now let's make some progressions. First, we'll do our key with major chords. C, D, E, F sharp, G, A flat, B flat, C. For our progression, I use C to D to E twice, then A flat, B flat, C. Now let's do all minor chords. C minor, D minor, E minor, F sharp minor, G minor, A flat minor, B flat minor. And now for our progression, I will use C minor, F sharp minor, and G minor. And now we'll all seventh chords. C7, D7, E7, F sharp 7, G7, A flat 7, B flat 7. And for our progression, C7 to B flat 7 twice, then A flat 7, B flat 7, C7. Now let's mix them. Of course, the possibilities are limitless, so you could just pick the chords out by ear, which is probably the best way, but let me give you some different ideas. First is a serial method. Now, serial music comes mainly from 12-tone music, where they put things in a series like notes, dynamics, rhythms. For our purposes, let's make the first series major, minor, and seventh. So we'll play the keys with major chords, minor, and seventh. Major, C major, D minor, E7, F sharp major, G minor, A flat 7, B flat 7, C minor. So we start with a major and end with a minor. Now, also some of you, many of you might be into jazz, where you substitute chords or extensions, or even most popular music uses certain extensions, especially major sevenths and minor sevenths, minor sixths, and on the dominant chord, the seventh chord, flat fives and whatever. But so I'm going to put in some substitutions, extensions. So for the C, I'm going to use C major seventh, and then I'm going to go to C minor seventh, G minor seventh, A flat major seventh, B flat major seventh, A flat 7 flat 5, and then end with a G major 7. So I'll play that slowly. C major 7. So you can imagine the possibilities for writing songs. Now for our second series, let's start with the minor chord. We have minor, seventh, then major. So we have C minor, D7, E major, F sharp minor, G7, A flat major, B flat minor, and C seventh. Let's try a progression using that. Okay, C minor, D7, F sharp minor, A flat, B flat minor, A flat, G7, C minor. And now the series will start with the seventh chord. So we have seventh, major, and then minor. C7, D major, E minor, F sharp 7, G major, A flat minor, B flat 7, C. So let's do this. A flat minor to G twice, and then a D chord. Also, of course, we could use the traditional method of the Roman numbers. In other words, so for example, you know how many progressions we have. So for the key of C, we have C, 2 chords D minor, 3 chords E minor, 4 is F, 5 is G, 6 is A minor, and 7 is B diminished, and then back to C. So let's take, for example, the most popular progression in the last 30 years, 1, 5, 6, 4. So that would be in key of C, it would be C, G, A minor, F. You know how many thousands of songs use that progression. So now let's say we take the numbers, but we number our scale with it. So we would get, let's say, C minor, G, A flat, minor, F sharp minor. So we would get this: C minor, G, flat minor, F sharp minor. So with one scale, the possibilities are limitless. Imagine all the scales, all the synthetic scales, exotic scales. You could make up your own scales, right? You could take 4 notes from one scale to another, or you could pivot. You know how in music we have pivot chords from one key to another. For example, if I'm in the key of C and I play an A minor, that could be the 3 chord in the key of F. So then I would pivot into F. You could do the same with scales. Take one note that's common in 2 scales and pivot between many different scales. You could use that also for improvising, you know, an incredible amount of possibilities. I would like to mention one more book available on Amazon. It's called Guitar Chords for the 21st Century. This book is for guitarists searching for new ideas and sound colors. During the 20th and 21st centuries, composers reached beyond traditional chord structures using chords built on the intervals of second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh octaves with variation and alterations. Of these chords, I have applied them to the guitar. There are 308 chord types, each in 6 inversions, creating a total of 1,848 chords for each of the 12 notes in music, thereby creating over 22,000 chords. In addition, it contains alternative ways of moving these chords. Now, as I said, this is a book of colors more than a traditional chord book, so that's why I'm not really truly, let's say, recommending it, but I just would like to mention it because with all these chords, of course, there's no way to use them all. So what I recommend is you think of them as a book of colors. So I'd like to thank you so much for listening to this. I hope you see the possibilities when you go beyond the regular major minor scales. So I'd just like to thank you so much, and I hope giving you some new ideas. And take care. Thank you so much.